Hi, I'm Gary. My wife Robbie and I live in Southern California. We're in USDA Zone 10A, Sunset Zone 23. We live in a Mediterranean climate, so our rain comes during the winter. This year's winter's rain has officially broken the drought, so some of the long-term projects that I've been working on, rainwater harvesting and capture, have starting to fall into place for me. So I thought I'd just do a video on how I've incorporated the wood chips into the rainwater harvesting. I started this project back in early 2015. It's now March 2019. So it's taken me a while to get to this point. But what I'll do is I'll pick up the camera and I'll walk around and I'll cover some of the things that I've been doing so far. Like a lot of California houses, our house doesn't have any rain gutters, so the water just falls from the roof onto the driveway. Our driveway, this section of the driveway here is a hardscape, it's blacktop. And then as I'm walking down further, this is a rock driveway. Some of the water does absorb into the ground, but a lot of it flows along. We've been capturing some of it in these tubs and filling up our rain barrels. We'll have to get a more efficient way of doing this because that's labour intensive. Basically the water flows down the driveway. Once it gets to this point down here, it starts to pool, and the area here I'm collecting the rainwater. At this point it starts meeting up with the wood chips. As it flows into this area here, this is a depression or a low area that I've set up. This is where we park our cars. The water flows down the driveway to this area. Once it hits this area and combines with the wood chips, it starts to extract the tannins and some nutrients out of the wood chips, and it forms a nice compost tea. These ones here are chunky that I put down fairly recently. Wood chips absorb a lot of water. They're considered hygroscopic. The wood chips that I laid down here are pretty much in the same spot they were when I laid them down. Once a wood chip is saturated with water, it will not float. The ones over here I put down about 3 years ago. They've already broken down. They were a good surface to park on for a while, but after a while they need to be topped up. I've just started to top them up. These wood chips here I brought from my piles down below, but it's just a little hard to get down there right now. I can't make it back up the hill. So for now we're driving through this slush. Eventually I'll bring more wood chips up and it'll look something like this. Piles that I used to have down here, I've already moved most of them. I've got a few left over here. I've been moving them using my cart. And there's my cart there. There's my sifting trommel. I've also been sifting some of them, and I've been sifting from this pile here, and that's been going into Robbie's planters. So we're up near the truck bed now, and over in this corner here I had a lot of piles. I was having them delivered down the driveway, and over to this area here, this is close to where I needed them. The piles that I had here I moved across the hillside here, and I've laid them out over there. I built this ramp so that I had access to the other side of the hill here. This ramp was very useful. I call it a wood chip ramp or a bridge. What I've done is I've brought in the wood chips, and I started from this end, and I had to get over the V channel, so I crossed over the V channel. Now the water from the V channel flows down into the wood chips and it waters this euphorbia. This is called a pencil cactus. It's a useful plant if you were going to make gasoline or something out of it. It's a hydrocarbon plant. I'm not going to do that anytime soon. It produces a milky latex that's toxic. I don't want it there anymore. If you get it in your eyes or on your skin, you can have a real negative reaction to it. It has sent people to the emergency room. Some people go into anaphylactic shock when they come in contact with the sap. So that's coming out. In its place, I'm going to dig a deep hole and I'm going to fill it with wood chips and make a mulch pit. Right next to it, I'm going to plant an ice cream bean so that the ice cream bean will benefit from the water coming down the hill here. It will flow into the mulch pit, it will soak in, and the ice cream bean should have a good water source. Any excess water right now is flowing down the hill here, and I'll get to that in a moment. This area up here that I moved the pile to, I'm going to plant some trees. Before I did that, I wanted to get the ground prepared ahead of time. So I've put down the wood chips. They're going to sit, they're going to break down, and with the rain that we've been having, all those nutrients are going to be filtered into the soil. The soil here is pretty rocky. Our bedrock is shale, and shale is very soft. Right now the shale that's near the surface is starting to break down. It's going back to silt and clay. It's going to be full of sea minerals because it was formed on an ancient ocean floor. So the wood chips that I'm bringing in are going to be bringing in some of these ocean minerals. Eventually I want to plant a hedge of guamachil across here. The water coming down the hillside will be soaking in and seeping down. There'll be a plume of water coming underground that will flow down into my wood chips and through. So any tree that I plant here is going to benefit from any runoff coming from further up the hill. The driveway I can't really put wood chips on because I don't get any traction. Any wood chips that you see on the ground here have flowed down from the hillside. Now wood chips really don't float, but with enough water, some of them are being carried down, especially the smaller parts. The mulch pit that I'm going to dig up there is going to contain material similar to this. This is the decomposed shale, and some of it is clay already. So this is the material that I'll be digging out. So with a wheelbarrow, I'll be able to just push it straight down the hill very easily. The wheelbarrow would just roll by itself. This pile here I've been moving up into the tree line. I've almost completed that. That's already starting to benefit the trees. They're going to have a lot of water over summer. This part of the driveway I consider a hardscape. I can't put wood chips on it, so I may as well use it for water catchment. So the water flows down, and what I've done here is I've dug a little bit of a trench and I've mounded soil on one side. It's kind of a swale. Originally the water would flow down and go in that direction. Now I've got it redirected, so when the water flows down the hill, flows down, it gets to this point, then it flows across to my retaining wall, and from there it flows down the hill and it heads towards my bananas. On the way I've got a couple of piles of wood chips that it's going to have to flow under. So it's flowing into this pile right here. So I've been getting a lot of water from this roadway coming into this pile. This pile I've almost removed completely. Once it's gone, I think I'll start to plant here. This pile here is one I did a video on last January 2018. And I decided to leave it to see how it breaks down. So as you can see, it's still pretty stable. It's dropped maybe about 6 inches It was 4 foot, now it's probably 3'6". It has collapsed in a couple of spots, mainly along here, but all in all, it's remained pretty vertical. So the walls here are fairly vertical. I mean, that might give someone an idea of what they could use wood chips for if they were trying to construct something. The weight of the wood chips go directly down. They don't tend to bulge out like soil would. This is another area where the water pools. I've set it up so anything coming down the hillside will settle here. When it rains, there's a big puddle here too, and that irrigates the avocado tree. The piles that I have left here, I've been slowly moving up the hill to where I need them. I've removed a lot of the material. I've cut through them so I've got access to the other side in a couple of places. Eventually all this area here will be removed and I'll fence it off, and this area will be my next orchard. The water coming down the hill I'll redirect into this area, and I'll have a settlement pond kind of in the middle, and I'll just put wood chips over it. So I'll plant trees on either side of it, and that will give them access to water during the summer. I started the water harvesting seriously about 3 years ago when I got the wood chips. Now I planted the bananas around that same time. During that time we were in a drought, so I had to try to come up with a way of getting more water to my bananas. The problem is, right now, with all the rain that we've had, my bananas are starting to split. I didn't have this problem before. I have had that problem with oranges, but with bananas, it's kind of a new crop to me that I started, like I said, during the drought. Now, my bananas are fine, but I have to harvest them a little earlier. My bananas are getting too much water. In the beginning, they weren't getting enough, so I had to supplementary water them and come up with ways of getting more water to them, because bananas like a lot of water, but right now we're getting too much. What I'm going to do is maybe dig some more trenches and channels and direct it a little bit further away from the bananas. I think the current rainfall, we're getting enough water down here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, feel free to subscribe to our channel. That's Robbie and Gary. It's currently March 2019 and we've got over 400 videos up. Our subscribers are growing and we really appreciate the number of people that are coming in and leaving comments. So with that, thanks for watching, and don't forget to eat what you grow.